How's it going, everyone? Welcome to my review of the Battle of Felucia Separatist M.t.t. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. It's a great way to help out the channel, and if you want to skip the unboxing, use the timestamps in the description below. But this set was released on August the 1st of 2025 at an original retail price of $159.99 USD. It is given set number 75435. It is rated for ages 9 and up and has 976 pieces, which gives this an original price per piece of 16 cents. This set does include 12 minifigures, 5 of which are unique at the time of recording. On the side of the box, you get another look at that MTT. And taking a look at the back of the box, we get to see a few different things. Highlighted here in the top right hand corner are some of the play features of this set. Opening up your box is quite an easy experience. Simply cut the 2 pieces of tape holding it closed and pull to reveal the contents of your box. Inside of your box, you will find this paper bag. Now inside of your box, you will find a total of 8 numbered bags, 1 relatively small sticker sheet, and lastly your instruction manual. And here is your first look at the final product. I gotta say, price aside, this is a very nice set with a lot to talk about. But hopefully in this video, I can help you decide, is this set worth spending $160 US on? So let's start with the minifigures. Our first minifigure is General Aayla Secura. This is the first time we have seen this minifigure since 2017. And I think they did a fantastic job with this minifigure. They gave her some really good printing on her torso and her legs, and she's got a nice face print. They do give her a secondary face print that is more aggressive in nature for battle. The highlight piece on this minifigure is of course her printed lekku. These look absolutely amazing and they did a phenomenal job with these. Hidden directly underneath of her lekku, they do give her some very nice back printing as well. Putting her side by side with her 2016 variant, you can definitely see that there's some significant printing differences between the 2 versions, especially on the torso and legs. Now her face print is incredibly similar to the 2017 variant with some line differences, and her lips are a different color. Both minifigures get a dual-sided face print, and their lekku piece is incredibly similar. I was struggling to find any differences. The back of the torso printing is incredibly different. They've added some details and they took some details away. But all in all, I think the new figure is still a very good version of Aayla Secura. Our next minifigure is Commander Bly. At first glance, I thought the torso and leg printing were the exact same as the rest of the figures from the 327th Battle Pack, but there are some minor printing differences. So the printing differences are that there are a bunch of different scuffs on the armor. The 2 pouches on the belt are yellow on Commander Bly versus being white, and on his legs he does have some tan and yellow printing rather than being yellow and white. Now his helmet printing is where the majority of the printing differences are. As you can see, instead of having a big yellow stripe, it is a big tan stripe. And there's also some yellow surrounding the bottom of his mask. This minifigure does include that brand new molded hard plastic pauldron, and I think this thing looks absolutely incredible. Now this pauldron doesn't really restrict movement going forwards, but definitely does if you take the arm backwards. This minifigure does include the macro binoculars that we saw introduced in the 501st Battle Pack. This minifigure does not receive an exclusive face print, it is just the standard clone head we've received over the past few years. And he does have a decent amount of back printing. This set does include 3 brand new commando droids. But since they are all identical, we are going to primarily focus on one of them. Now surprisingly, they did actually print some details on this figure. You have some little black stripes as well as some little red dots on the torso, and you get some pretty good face printing. Turning the figure to the side to give you a better look at that molded head, I really like this minifigure head. I think they did a phenomenal job translating this into Lego form. Putting him side by side with the commando droids from 2013, you can really see that there is a massive color difference, with the old one being brown and the new one being gunmetal gray, which has been a really big point of controversy in the Lego Star Wars community. And to me, this is such a non-issue. Whenever you Google commando droids, they pop up in all different colors. But as you can see, there are some minor printing differences. We did have the little orange dot on the torso in 2013, but we didn't have the little black lines. I might be mistaken for saying this, but I think they kept the exact same mold from 2013. I am struggling to find a difference here. Our next minifigure is the pilot droid. I am so glad to be seeing this minifigure in something other than the 2024 gift with purchase, and it would not have made sense to do this set without the pilot droid. And yes, this is the exact same minifigure from the 2024 May the 4th gift with purchase, and that is going to upset some people. But I always think it's a good idea to bring back exclusive minifigures to help drive down the price to make them more accessible. Included in this set are 6 B1 battle droids. My only complaint here is that we didn't get a few more of them. I would have liked to have 12, maybe 10 of these. That would have been great. And now for the extra build, a brand new STAP. And it looks pretty good in my opinion. Now this STAP Speeder is large enough to accommodate a BX commando droid, and it doesn't look goofy doing it. I do think he looks a little bit tall on it, but a BX commando droid is a bit taller than a B1. And here is that STAP Speeder side by side with all 4 of the STAP Speeders that we have received over the past year. As you can see, this is the tallest one that comes with a battle droid, but shorter than the one that we got in the Force Burner Snow Speeder. Now its closest relative is going to be the one that came in the battle droid with STAP, which I have done a video on that you can check out after this. Now while these are incredibly similar, they still have a lot of differences. The weapons is the main difference, its height is a little bit taller, and it has a different tile piece on the underside of the head of the STAP. Now what was a big surprise to me is that this STAP actually has a storage place in the back of the MTT. And it's relatively secure, being held in by these lights and the structure of the STAP itself. And yes, you can actually use the play function of the MTT while the STAP is inside, and it's not going to interrupt or damage anything. Now I was surprised by this play feature because it's not anywhere on the box or in the instructions. While not everything needs to be spelled out, a play feature or a storage space I think should at least be shown in some capacity, since this set is rated for ages 9 and up, and people could miss this. I almost did. Now I found out by actually looking at the product listing on LEGO's website while I was doing research for this video. If you find this image here and zoom in, you can see the STAP in the back of the MTT. Now with all the extras being covered, we can talk about the Separatist M.t.t. And this has a lot to talk about, so let's start with the main play feature. This cylinder on the back of the M.t.t. is how you activate the play feature. Twisting that cylinder spins a 6-tooth gear plate that pushes the stud on a jumper plate forward. This is an ingenious design, and its operation can be done so smoothly. This mechanism also opens both of the front doors on the M.t.t, and once fully extended, it drops your battle droids onto the ground, and it can smoothly be picked back up and shuffled back inside. And then it closes both of the doors. This might just be my favorite play feature on any LEGO Star Wars set of all time. I don't think a single thing beats this. This is just so incredibly fun to play around with. And it just looks really cool as well. Now this is footage on 2x speed of me trying to get this thing to fail. And I did this either really quickly, I did it aggressively, I tried to go back and forth to see if this thing would mess up. I've only had it mess up once, and I'll show you how that happened. And as you can see, I was going relatively aggressive and it got stuck. And I tried to see if I could use the mechanism to get itself unstuck, but I couldn't. Now what happened was the bottom door actually got stuck underneath the Droid Rack and came undone. So not a horrible disaster, but definitely something to keep your eye out for. Another issue I've had is the chain coming undone. Now if it does come undone, you have to make sure that it gets attached to the stud that's closest to you from this angle. Now if you attach it to the stud farthest from you, the bottom door won't close properly, it'll actually try and close over top of the dish. Now the back panels on this M.t.t. can be lifted up for access to the interior. Directly on the inside of the interior is a weapons rack, which can store up to 4 blasters. You can also lift the panel on the opposite side, and once again you will find a weapons rack capable of carrying up to 4 blasters. Now to gain access to the cockpit of the M.t.t, simply lift this bit here, and then you can fold these 2 panels down, giving you a lot of access to the interior. Directly behind that sloped brick is going to be storage for your pilot droid's blaster. They do give you a spot to put your pilot droid, but it is a rather cramped space once everything is closed. So unfortunately, he does have to be pretty close to laying down to fit. I have found that this is the tallest you can make him sit before you can actually close the cockpit properly. Now the back panel of the MTT can be opened up, and this is where we store the STAP from earlier on in the video. Now just like the back panels, the front panels of the MTT can also open, but these don't really give you access to anything. I personally think they're there for the shaping of the MTT, and you guessed it, that exact same panel is present on both sides of the MTT. Now located at the very top of the MTT are two stud launchers. Regardless of how you feel about them, they do add a tiny little play feature for children. Now for those of you who don't know how a stud launcher works, you simply push down on this gray handle and it fires out a stud. Now on the front of the MTT you do have some heavy cannons. Now this is a ball and socket piece, so they are incredibly posable. On the bottom of the MTT, you will find a total of 6 wheels, 4 of these black ones and 2 gray ones on the very front here. And this allows the MTT to roll on a slightly textured surface. It doesn't roll very well on carpet, but here on my table, it rolls pretty great. Now, since the back 4 wheels are pretty spherical, you can actually kind of steer your MTT without having to have an actual mechanism, which means that you can actually drift your Clone Wars MTT. Now, if you push this MTT with enough force, it'll actually go fairly fast. It's not going to fly off the table or anything, but it's fast enough. Surprisingly, connecting your battle droids to your battle droid rack is incredibly easy. It utilizes the stud on the back of the torso of the battle droid, making them incredibly easy to both attach and detach. And there's no right way to make them face either. I personally attach them this way because at least when the platform lands, it looks like they're ready to start walking off. Now, they did an incredible job when it came to the overall shaping of the MTT, and they did a great job with line work only using 2 different color bricks. As someone who's never owned a LEGO Star Wars MTT before, I am very glad LEGO decided to go with the Clone Wars route this time, because I am a huge fan of the Clone Wars animated series, and it just feels so nice to finally have a Clone Wars era MTT, and I think they did a phenomenal job making this as accurate looking as possible. Now, this set does feature quite a few stickers. There is one here in the cockpit for what looks like a targeting system. There is one here on this top piece here for the eyes. And then you have these 2 stickers on the side of the MTT for the Separatist logo. And these stickers I do not like in the slightest because there's a lot of light gray around these stickers, and the light gray of the sticker just does not match the brick and it just looks awful. But thankfully, LEGO gave us a printed piece for this dish here because this would have been a nightmare as a sticker to place. So I'm very grateful that they did this, and hopefully in the future they will start printing more items. All in all, I think this is a pretty good set that provides a nice battle experience, but the Republic forces definitely seem outnumbered here. So, LEGO also made the 327th Clone Trooper Battle Pack to go alongside the Battle of Felucia Separatist MTT. But what's really unfortunate is both of these sets is going to run you $205 before sales tax. But once you combine these 2 sets, all in all, you get a much better battle experience with just a few more Republic forces. The Battle Pack provides you with an AT-RT and 3 additional Clone Troopers, but it also provides the Separatist forces with 3 Super Battle Droids and a mini Spider Droid. All it needs is an Acolyte to go along with it. So all in all, what are my thoughts on this set, and is it worth that $160 price tag? No, this is not worth $160. Please do not purchase this at the retail price point. LEGO has to learn that there is a point where sets just become too expensive for the average individual. And I've only reviewed 2 of the August Wave sets so far, and both of them have been ridiculously overpriced, and I don't think that that's going to be a complaint that disappears after this set. Which is just a shame because almost all of the August Wave sets are phenomenal sets with one exception. But that is for our next video, not this one. I highly recommend waiting till this set goes on a bare minimum of 25% off, ideally 30% or higher in order to purchase this set. I give this set a 7 out of 10. The stickers are a bad quality of color matching, it's lacking some minifigures, and it's overall just way too expensive. But that is all I have to say on this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found this video helpful for your purchasing decisions. If you did enjoy this video or found it helpful, please let me know by leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. Both are a free way to help support the channel. Remember to join the community Discord, the link is in the description below. And until next time, stay bricked up and enjoy what you love.